All right, what is going on, guys? Hey, so I'm here in studio. I'm back from Las Vegas. I'm super hyped. A couple of people said I'm a little bit long-winded. So to help you guys that have not the long-winded fish in mind, I thought I would do a couple videos. This video being the first one, and we're gonna talk about the new Power Plus platform and the technology. Everybody's talking about how it lacks technology, how the whole thing about it, the ride command, I just all of it, right? So that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about the technology on these new Power Plus Challengers, Pursuits, Chieftains, and Roadmasters. And yeah, I'm going to drop in some stuff so you know that I'm not lying, that I'm not wrong. People said that I should do my homework. You know what? I know quite a bit about this. Who else has probably almost 80,000 miles? I mean, really, I'm in that range somewhere, maybe 70,000 miles. Not a lot of people. And I've been on every area from the 2020 to now the 2025s. So without going on, let's get started. Let's start talking about technology with the next video talking about power. So I hope you guys like and subscribe. Leave a comment. If there's something I miss, I can always bust out another video. Yeah, so all right, let's get started. Let's talk about, with technology, the Infotainment Center first. Obviously, it is a 7-inch display powered by Ride Command, and this does feature turn-by-turn navigation that has weather overlay as well as live traffic if you're subscribed to that. You can customize each screen. There is 3 screens. There's widgets, so you can move the widgets around, so you can kind of like prioritize the things you want. An example is I have one that is like, I call it my bike health. I go to that screen on my personal bike and it tells me my tire pressures. It tells me my my water temperature. It tells me my just anything to do with the bike. And then I have another one that is kind of like my fun thing. So it has like my radio built in. It usually has the direction or my range usually in there, a couple things like that. Indy Motorcycle does offer Apple CarPlay. I don't have Apple, so I don't know nothing about that. You can get bike health, so it tells you about it. Also bike locator, that is something that is technology that is built into this. The navigation itself I thought was it's pretty good. Listen, something I've said this for years, and I do need to make point of this. What this bike was in 2020 is not the same bike and Ride Command that it is in 2025, and they have done many updates. A lot of them are over the air, so especially like I think my 22 and forward, they're over the air updates, so they can literally fix things on the fly. I have to admit, the navigation is way better than it once was. Is it perfect? No. It gets a little bit confused when you start doing like circles in parking lots and you're leaving a gas station and you don't know which way you're gonna go, so you do a couple circles and then all of a sudden it doesn't know which way you're facing. Usually it's not horrible. Every once in a while you hear the horror stories about a person that had to go down a gravel road, but it's, you know, I think they're getting better. I think they're constantly striving to get better, which is important. So a lot of people are asking about, well, why the same 7-inch screen? I don't know why. Honestly, I don't hate it. And I'll tell you the reason why is I'm a guy that likes the analog gauges. And yes, there's the whole horror story. Like, what would you do if if you had just a digital cluster and your whole screen went out, then what do you do? I feel like that's an extreme thing that probably wouldn't happen. Maybe I could, right? Like on the extreme side. And so those people that say, well, that's why I want my analog, my analogs, because if things break, I still have them, whatever. Honestly, I don't know if that is exactly true. I like the look, period. I like the look, especially of the new Chieftain platform. I think it's a muscle look. It's sleek. The dash is really good. The fit and finish is really Yeah, it's really good. I personally enjoy it. I talked to Ola Stenegard about it, and he said he was going for an American muscle car look on the dash. And you know what? I definitely see that. I think that he hit that out of the park. And just, looking at it, I like it. I think that there's some opportunities maybe to make things a little bit different in your own. But overall, I really do dig it. When I was thinking about doing this video and talking about technology, one of the things that is, what do I do? Is it just infotainment center? No, definitely not. That is not what makes these Power Plus motorcycles them. It is an element. So what else is technology? I think the fact that electronic locking bags is technology, right? So it comes with electronic locking bags. That is technology, but also the suspension. Let's talk about it. The front suspension is inverted front forks. And nobody will argue with you if you say inverted front forks is sports bike racing technology, period. If you were to get a Harley, the only way you get this is either aftermarket or you have to go all the way to the CVO. So the fact that all of the Power Plus models, all of them, from the dark horses, the limiteds, the whatever, they all have the same high-end suspension. And I really do think that that is a technology. That's something that sets these bikes apart from everybody else. And it just goes without saying, because we've had this now sport bike technology since 2020, And then let's talk about the rear suspension for just a moment. And 4.5 inches of Fox Racing monoshock in the rear. It is adjustable. You can get two of them. One, by the way, technology, but one is not technology. It is literally you ratchet it. It's a manual adjustment. But the other one, they have an electronic preload system ran through the ride command. I mean, it's like, this is my point. You get to set your weight, set your passenger's weight, your luggage weight, you do all this, right? I do think that if you run a little heavier per se, like I'm doing heavier because it could be your luggage and all this, electronic only does so much, but when you do that manual, you get a lot. You get to add a lot to it, if that makes sense. But I think that is technology, So now here we are with racing front suspension. We got like a 4.5 inches. I'm just going to throw it out there. Harley Davidson's only 3. Even their CVOs, only 3. I don't even know what else to say, right? 4.5 freaking inches electronic preload. It's amazing. But coming with suspension, I'm just going to say it real quick. The front brakes, they are Brembo calipers, dual floating rotor front brakes, and again, racing technology, not pre-branded. They are Brembo. They are good. It is that important. All of this aside, technology doesn't end there, where all these bikes have traction control. And then after traction control, we have some other ones. So the base models don't have this. It is an RDRS system. It is 6-axis IMU that knows throttle positioning, speed, cornering angle. It understands when you're braking and when you're accelerating, and the fact that when you're laid over on the side, traction patches are different when you're braking or accelerating. All of that is technology. And now going forward with the 2025s, they have added blind spot detection in the mirrors. There's 2 amber lights on the mirrors, and also it pops up on that 7-inch dash, like a yellow light on the side. And then it just notifies you that somebody might be, or somebody is in your blind spot or coming up next to you. So that way you know. Something else it does is that when somebody is tailgating you, it lets you know with an indicator on that 7-inch display that there's somebody behind you, and I'm going to be honest with you. There's been many times, especially group riding, I lose the person to my right or my left, right? Because they're in that blind spot. And I have to do one of these, like look over the shoulders, which I still think I'm going to do anyway. But I do that in case I need to maneuver. I know where they're at. I don't really care that they're there. I just want to understand where they're at. This will let me know that they are there. I cannot just swerve hard to the right now for any reason. So it just lets you know your exit points and where you're at, and I think it's important. The following behind thing, yeah, I mean, I guess it's good to know if somebody's really close to you. The other thing is, it is a warning system when somebody's coming up, like it's like a rear collision warning. They're coming up and then the blinkers kind of blink, tweaker blinker style at them to get them to recognize, oh crap, I'm coming up on a bike, right? Or I'm coming up on a vehicle, whatever. So kind of tweaker blinks, lets them know. These are technology. And I don't know of any other bikes on the market that have this at all. So I thought that was interesting. Continuing with the technology part, Indian Motorcycle did adopt hold and control. All right, so here's the problem. I didn't get to test this. I forgot. So my first bike that I had didn't have it. The second bike I had it, and I forgot to test it. So I never used it. But I did talk to the guys and the gals that did. They all said, you just put it in, give it a hard squeeze, it holds it. I can't remember, there's a time frame that it holds it for, but then when you're ready to go, you just kind of let up and give it a little accelerator, and it like eases up on it. It doesn't just like let it go, so you just all of a sudden start running backwards or forwards, I guess. But yeah, so you like give it a little throttle, ease it up, gives you time to kind of let the clutch out and get that friction zone and go. I thought that was really good. And then I have zero experience with those. None. I have never had them on any bike. I've never rode a bike and tested with them, even though I've been on bikes that had them. I never used them. All of these, the blind spot indicator, the rear collision indicator, and also the hold control, they can all be turned on and off through the ride command. And also it doesn't forget. So an example is traction control. When you turn traction control off, because you're going to hooligan or you're going to do whatever, when you turn your bike off and you turn it back on, it is not still off. It is back on. And so you got to then adjust it, which is unfortunate. These are not like that. It does remember. So if you don't like your blind spot and you don't like your heel control and all that, if you don't like those, you can turn those off. They will stay off or they will stay on, whatever you prefer. My understanding is also a setting inside of them so you could like fine tune it to how you want it. I thought that was pretty cool. And then last but not least, Indian Motorcycle has now adapted an electric assist linking brake system. So when you're on the front brake heavy, it will apply the rear brake a little bit, right? It's not one for one. It's just a little bit of help. And vice versa. If you're on the rear brake, it applies the front brake. Now remember that RDRS, that 6-axis IMU, it understands, again, traction, and it takes all of these, the magic inside of there to get it right. Again, sport bike technology. We're riding performance baggers, and Indian Motorcycle understands that. And so the fact that they are giving us sport bike technology, what is more performance than a sport bike? Freaking nothing, right? So if you can adapt sport bike technology and you put into our baggers, and our freaking baggers are balling, these are things that are important. And this is what sets Indian Motorcycle aside. The fact that they continue to innovate and they continue to add and push the envelope. Yeah, I am pretty psyched about it. I didn't use hill and hold control, but I have a request into Indian Motorcycle to let me get one of these for a little longer. So hopefully I can do that so I can do more fun science stuff with them. And obviously I won't be able to get one now because they're on their way to Daytona. So if you're going to Daytona, these bikes are going to be available for demo ride. Go ride it. You tell me about the technology. And other than that, guys, I told you it was going to be a short one. It's for you guys that don't like long videos. You want another video, you don't have to bust it out. Let me know in the description. Next video, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. Next video, we're finally going to talk about the Power Plus 112. And what my thoughts on that is, considering I am one of the few people that have touched many options of this Power Plus motor, from a 108 bone stock to a 108 with different kinds of cams to a 112, all the aftermarket stuff. I got lots of thoughts behind it. I'm gonna try to make that a short video too. Hope you guys like this. I'm gonna make them short. Ride hard, ride fast, and sad as somebody you don't know. Peace.